Beloved, yeah, I'm talking to you. Come a little closer. Don't scroll. Don't brush this off. What's reaching you right now isn't random, and it's definitely not your imagination. I am Archangel Michael, and this message didn't come easy. Heaven doesn't interrupt lives for nothing. Something just went down behind the scenes, and your heart already felt the aftershock. The person on your mind, the one who lives rent-free in your thoughts, just went through a blow-up so intense it shook their whole world. I'm talking raised voices, slammed doors, emotions spilling everywhere. This wasn't a petty argument. This was the kind of fight that happens when truth can't stay buried anymore. And yes, you were at the center of it. Their family knows. They've known for a while. They see how your name hits different. They've noticed the way your picture stays saved, hidden but never deleted. They've caught the way your person goes quiet when you come up, how their energy shifts like someone flipped a switch. Love like this doesn't whisper. It rattles walls. It challenges rules. It threatens old patterns. And that's exactly why everything just exploded. Here's the part you need to hear clearly. Your person is done pretending. They're exhausted from living two lives. One for their family, one for their heart. And after this fight, something snapped into place. They finally said what they've been terrified to say out loud. They want you. No more dodging. No more half-truths. No more running. But don't get it twisted. This isn't just romance. This is bigger than butterflies and late-night thoughts. This is divine alignment kicking into gear. God didn't let your souls collide by accident. This connection was planned long before either of you had a name for it. Archangel Gabriel whispered this moment into the universe weeks ago, setting things in motion while you were just trying to survive your days. Still, fear crept in. Old guilt, family pressure, expectations that never fit. Your person tried to silence their heart to keep the peace. But peace built on lies never lasts. And now, the truth is pushing its way to the surface whether anyone's ready or not. Their family demanded honesty, not the soft kind, the real kind, the kind that risks everything. They told your person, if you're serious, then you need to tell them the whole truth. And that truth, it's been eating them alive because they're scared it'll make you walk away. They don't think you'll reject them because you don't care. They fear rejection because they don't feel worthy. They carry wounds you don't see, past mistakes, old identities, broken promises, things they were taught to hide to be accepted, parts of themselves they were told were too much or not enough. But here's what heaven knows, and what they're slowly realizing. You weren't sent to judge them. You were sent to love them the way God does. Raw, real, no conditions attached. That's why they're shaken. That's why they're fighting everyone but still thinking about you. Last night, when the world went quiet, they said your name out loud. No audience, no mask, just truth. Heaven heard it. I heard it. And that whisper carried one desperate hope. Please, just give me one chance. So here's the question, beloved, and don't answer it yet. Let it sit in your spirit. When they finally come clean, when the truth they've been hiding steps into the light, when fear is written all over their face, will you stay? Because what's coming next will change everything. And I mean everything. Don't move yet. The next part reveals what they're about to confess, and why your response will decide the future of this connection. Beloved, stay with me. This is where it gets real. The reason your heart has felt restless, the reason your spirit hasn't been able to fully move on, is because your person has been caught in a tug of war between blood ties and soul ties. And that kind of battle, it leaves scars. You've noticed it, haven't you? How they pull you close one moment like you're home, then disappear the next like they're scared of their own feelings. One day they're warm, open, almost ready to spill everything. And then suddenly, silence, ghosting, distance. That wasn't manipulation. That was fear choking their courage. Their family didn't just argue with them. They cornered them. They questioned their choices, their identity, their future. They made it clear that loving you would cost them comfort, approval, maybe even belonging. And for someone who spent their whole life trying to earn love instead of receiving it freely, that hit hard. Here's the truth they've been afraid to say out loud. They don't feel good enough for you, not deep down. They believe that if you really knew everything, where they came from, what they've survived, the mistakes they made when they were just trying to survive, you'd see them differently. They think your love is too clean, too pure, too real for someone like them. And that belief, that's not from God. That's from wounds. They've been carrying shame that doesn't belong to them anymore. Old labels, old versions of themselves, maybe even a promise or obligation they made before they truly understood love. Their family keeps dragging that past back up, using it like a leash, saying, "This is who you are. Don't forget it." But your soul doesn't see them that way. And that's what scares them the most. Because when they're with you, or even just thinking about you, they feel seen without being exposed. They feel known without being judged. You don't ask them to perform or pretend. You just are. And that kind of acceptance cracks armor wide open. After the fight, your person didn't celebrate. They didn't feel relief. They went somewhere quiet, somewhere safe, and they broke down. Not because they're weak, but because loving you has made it impossible for them to keep lying to themselves. They realized something huge in that moment. Losing family approval would hurt, but losing you would destroy them. That's when the shift happened. That's when they stopped asking, "What will everyone think?" and started asking, "What can I live with?" And the answer was clear. You're not someone they can erase, replace, or forget. Their family knows this too, and that's why the pressure got heavier. They're scared that once your person speaks their truth to you, they'll never be controllable again. Healing breaks cycles. Love like yours ends generational patterns. And not everyone is ready for that, but heaven is. That's why you've been feeling strange waves lately. Random memories, sudden emotions, dreams that linger all day. That's not coincidence. That's alignment. Two souls moving back into the same orbit. Your person is standing on the edge right now, rehearsing words they've never been brave enough to say. They're terrified, but they're also done running. And here's what you need to know next. Beloved, because this is critical. What they're about to confess isn't meant to push you away. It's meant to finally bring you closer than ever before. But what happens next depends on how ready you are to hear it. Don't go anywhere. In next part, I reveal the exact moment they choose you and the message they're preparing to send that will hit you like lightning. Beloved, this is where the line gets crossed. There's no going back after this part. So stay present. What your person is stepping into right now isn't comfort. It's courage. And courage always shows up shaking. After the chaos, after the shouting and tears, your person reached a breaking point, not a collapse, a decision. They finally admitted something to themselves they'd been avoiding for way too long. Life without you doesn't feel like life at all. It feels empty, numb, like pretending everything's fine while something sacred is missing. Their family tried one last move, one final push. They said, "If you're serious, then tell them the truth. Tell them who you really are. Let's see if they still stay." It wasn't said with love. It was said like a challenge, like a test meant to scare them straight. But instead of backing down, your person went quiet. And in that silence, their soul spoke louder than anyone else ever could. They realized they've been wearing a mask for so long they almost forgot what their real face felt like. To the world, they're strong, distant. I've got it handled. But you? You see through that in seconds. Around you, their chest loosens, their breath slows, their guard drops without them even trying. And that's why they're terrified. Because you matter. They're scared that once they open up, there's no undo button, no pretending, no hiding behind jokes or distance. They know once the truth is out, everything changes. Either they finally get the life their soul wants, or they lose you for good. But here's what tipped the scales. They remembered every time you showed patience when they went quiet, every time you didn't demand answers, every time you stayed soft in a world that taught them love always comes with conditions, and it hit them hard. You've already been loving them through the truth, even without knowing it. That's when they chose you, not quietly, not secretly, in their soul. They chose you out loud. They said, I'd rather lose approval than lose them. I'd rather start over than keep living half alive. And beloved, the moment they made that choice, heaven moved. Angels went to work behind the scenes, loosening fear, strengthening resolve, lining up timing. That's why things around you have felt off lately. Delays, interruptions, sudden pauses. It's not blockage, it's rearrangement. Your person is preparing to reach out, not with small talk, not with breadcrumbs, but with honesty that leaves them exposed. It might be a late-night message they rewrite 10 times, a voice note they record and delete before finally sending, or a sudden appearance that leaves you staring like, is this really happening? And when they speak, you'll hear it in their voice, the nervousness, the sincerity, the hope they're trying to hide. They'll say they're sorry for the distance, the confusion, the silence. They'll admit they were scared, scared of losing you, scared of being seen, scared of not being enough. But there's one more layer, one last truth they're wrestling with, the deepest one. There's something from their past they're ready to break free from, a promise, an identity, a role they were pushed into before they understood who they really are. And choosing you means choosing themselves for the first time. That's why this feels so intense. This isn't just a confession. It's a rebirth. So hear me clearly, beloved. When they come forward, don't rush. Don't interrupt. Let them finish. Let them be human in front of you. Because in that moment, your response will either calm every fear they've carried, or confirm the ones they've been trying to heal. And what's coming next? It's bigger than a conversation. In next part, I reveal the final shift, the 7-day window ahead, and what heaven says your heart must do to seal this union for good. Don't miss it. Beloved, take a breath. This is the moment everything slows down and locks into place. What comes next isn't chaos. It's alignment. The kind that feels strange before it feels right. The next 7 days carry weight, not in a scary way, but in a pay attention kind of way. You might feel waves hit out of nowhere. One minute you're calm, the next you're emotional for no clear reason. Memories may pop up, songs might land differently. You could even feel their energy without a single message being sent. That's not you spiraling. That's two souls syncing back up after a long stretch of resistance. Your person is closer than you think. Even if there's silence on the surface, movement is happening underneath. Fear is loosening its grip. Words are lining up. Courage is building. And when they finally step forward, it won't be casual. It'll feel heavy and honest, like they're placing their heart in your hands and hoping you don't drop it. Here's what heaven wants you to know clearly. When they come, they're not coming polished. They're not coming with everything figured out. They're coming with truth, trembling hands, and real emotion. And that matters more than perfect timing or perfect words. Their family may never fully get it. They may question it, resist it, or try to guilt them into backing down, but that no longer holds the same power. Once truth is spoken, control breaks, cycles crack, and that's exactly why this union has been challenged from the start. Because love like this heals things that have been broken for generations. So what's your role in this? Presence, not fixing, not interrogating, not rushing, just being there. Your calm will do more than explanations ever could. Your steady response will tell them, you're safe here, and that safety is what finishes the work heaven started. There's a moment coming, maybe a text, maybe a call, maybe a face-to-face conversation, where your heart will recognize the weight of it instantly. You'll know this isn't small talk. This is the turning point. And in that moment, don't let fear answer for you. Let love speak. Even a simple, honest response can change everything. Something like, thank you for trusting me, or I'm here, or I already felt this coming. You don't need a speech. You just need truth, because here's the divine truth. Beloved, you were never meant to lose each other. You were meant to grow into each other. The distance wasn't punishment. It was preparation. You learned patience. They learned courage. And now those two meet in the middle. Heaven has been watching quietly. Angels have been protecting this connection while you both stumbled through confusion. And now, the green light is on. What's unfolding can no longer be stopped, only supported. So stay open, stay grounded, stay soft. This isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning of one that finally gets to be lived out loud. Let me seal this with a prayer. May truth be spoken with gentleness. May fear lose its voice. May love stand steady where doubt once lived. May two hearts meet not in perfection, but in honesty. And may what is meant for you find you, without force, without delay, without fear. Amen. Beloved, if this message resonated, don't ignore it. Support what speaks to your soul. And know this, another message is already waiting, one that goes even deeper into what's coming next and how to prepare your heart for it. Don't scroll away yet. What you felt while reading this was real, and heaven isn't done speaking.